Hey, aloha. So glad you made it back to my channel. If you love the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and to let anybody know about it. This class will be something quite powerful, tapping into your inner fire. Make sure you have your water and everything with you, and the sequence is going to move us towards side crow. You can always modify if needed. In the meantime, get settled into something comfortable, and I'll meet you on your mat. Look at this gorgeous creation of earth just for you. Aloha! Thank you so much for making it back to the channel. Today's sequence is going to lead us to side crow. So make sure you have your water with you, and this sequence is going to build us progressively closer. So we're going to have more twists happening in the sequences and more balancing and activating the fire, activating the heat within us. So we're going to have some core strengthening. We're also going to have some thighs and hip strengthening, and also practicing with arms. So make sure you have 2 blocks with you, because we will practice on blocks before doing actual side crow. So let's find ourselves on our backs. Rolling onto your spine. And take a moment to settle into your space and feel the spine. Feel the contact of the back line of the body on the mat. Maybe closing the eyes here. Taking a really deep breath in. Exhaling it out. Recognizing the energy you're bringing to your mat, and maybe focusing on what it is that you'd like to tap into with yourself today in this practice. And with your eyes slowly gazing closed or gently softened, take your hands to your lower belly. Take a deep breath here. Exhale. Again. Exhale it out. Beautiful. Bring your hands to your heart. So stack the left hand and then the right hand on top of the left on your heart. Take a deep breath right there. Exhale, relaxing the back body into the mat. Inhale into the side ribs, the back ribs. Exhale, relax your jaw, your third eye area, and your eyes. Inhale into the front ribs, all the way up into the sternum. Exhale, relax the hands down with the heart, feeling the tailbone, the sacrum, the hips relaxing. Release the hands. Draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug here, maybe swaying side to side. Go ahead now, maybe open the eyes, plant the right foot down on the mat. Take the left foot to the sky, send the left ankle on top of the right thigh. For thread the needle, or figure 4. Draw the right knee into the chest, interlacing the fingers around the back of the right thigh or shin. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, draw the knee in a little deeper. You can maybe press the left thigh away with your left elbow if that feels good. Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the back of the neck as you draw the chin down towards the chest. And then keeping yourself in a figure four, release the right sole of the foot down on the mat. Bring your arms out into a T and just drop the left foot to the right, directly sideways. Take the right hand on the inside of the left thigh. Press the left thigh away from you to open up the left hip. Feel that nice opening. Option to have the left arm out into a diagonal or overhead to lengthen the left side of the body. When you breathe, feel that left side opening. And then slowly draw the figure four back to center. Release the left sole down on the mat. Inhale the right foot up toward the sky, and then we'll come onto the other side for figure four. Breathe deeply into that right hip. Feeling the shoulder blades relaxed, your shoulders, your elbows relaxed here. Deep breaths. Maybe drawing the knee in a little deeper as you exhale. Focus on your breath throughout the practice and how listening to your breath can help you experience the poses more deeply, feeling more connected to your body. And then drop that left foot back down on the mat. Open your arms out into a T. And then directly send the right foot down to the left, planting that foot down on the mat, staying in your figure four. Take the left hand on the inside of the right thigh. Push the thigh away from you. Maybe having that right arm overhead or out in a diagonal. Take a deep breath into the right side. Exhale it out. Again. Maybe giving yourself a little internal smile. It's going to be challenging, but also very warming for the body and very fulfilling to move the energy in our bodies. Release the figure four, bringing it back up to center and bring both soles of the feet down on the mat. Take a block. Place it on the left side of your body in line with your hip, about maybe a foot or two away from you. Your left knee is going to land on that block when you come for a twist. Okay? So bring your knees up to a 90-degree angle. Maybe shifting your hips slightly to the right first. And then when you're ready, keeping the knees together, keeping the feet together, pressing the thighs together, drop your knees to the left until the left leg finds the block, just like this. Shift, lift your left shoulder blade off of the mat, shift it to the left slightly, and release it back down onto the mat to give your twist a little bit more depth, but also to release the right shoulder closer down to the mat. Take your arms directly above you into the sky, towards the sky. Press the palms up towards the sky, flexing your fingers towards your face. Activate the fingers, open them wide. Try and keep both shoulder blades down on the mat. Take a deep breath here. Exhale it out. Bend the elbows, keeping them in line with the shoulders. Maybe lift the shoulder blades off of the mat. Keep the left knee, left thigh pressing into the block. Look up towards the sky. This is a modified side crow so that you can start feeling the body in this position. And then release the shoulders, release the arms, bring your knees back up to center. Then switch the block to the other side. Plant the soles down on the mat, shift your hips to the left slightly. Make sure your block is about 2 feet away from your hip, directly across from your hip. Draw the knees up above your hips and feet in line with the knees, flexing the toes. And when you're ready, just drop the knees to the right, keeping the legs glued together until your right thigh lands on your block. Lift the right shoulder and shoulder blade off of the mat. Shift it to the right. Release it back down on the mat so that you have more room to lower the left shoulder onto the mat. Take a deep breath here. Exhale. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. In line with each other. So wrists are above the shoulders. Press the palms towards the ceiling or towards the sky, flexing the fingers towards you. Open the fingers wide, activate the hands. Feel the twist here. Feel what's going on in the middle, the thoracic spine, the upper spine, the ribs, between the shoulder blades. Then when you're ready, bend the elbows and lifting the shoulders off of the mat. Feel yourself activating here. Feel your feet activated. Feel the legs pressing into each other. Feel the palms pressing up as you hold the ceiling with your hands. Imagine you're holding the sky. Deep breaths. And release the shoulders, release the arms, bring the knees back up to center. Bring the soles of the feet together. Release the feet down on the mat, open the knees wide for Supta Baddha Konasana. Supine butterfly pose. Maybe flutter your knees, opened here. Maybe sway your tailbone, your sacrum side to side. Take a moment here to notice how that felt in your body. Take really deep, nourishing breaths, listening to your oceanic breath. And then keeping the soles of the feet glued together, take an inhale. And then as you exhale, press the lower back down into the mat. Press the soles of the feet together. Press the outer edges of the feet into the mat as you tuck the tailbone up towards the sky. So feel the activation in the groin, the core, the lower abdomen, the glutes. Feel that happening for you here. Take a deep breath here. And then staying in this position, keeping the lower back pressed into the mat, feeling the feet pressing into each other, just lift the feet off of the mat and hold here for 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Take a nice breath as you relax, maybe allowing the back to extend here. Natural curve and then lower back. Take a deep breath. We'll do that again. Exhale, press the lower back down into the mat. Squeeze the glutes, press the feet into each other, press the edges of the feet into the mat. Hold here. Keep breathing. Feel the inner thighs activating here, not just the glutes, right? And then keeping it here, keeping your tailbone lifting up, lift the feet off of the mat as you press the feet into each other. Hold it here for 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Release the lower back, take a deep breath. Exhale. Bring the hands on the outside of the thighs, draw the knees back to center, extend the legs out, point the toes, reach the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, flip the palms up towards the ceiling or towards the wall, and then reach both ends. Give yourself a nice big stretch here, maybe squeezing the abdominals, the glutes, and then flexing the feet towards you, and then pointing the toes and flexing them again. And then release here, draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug here. We're gonna go into a few hollow holds and releasing back down. So extend the legs out, extend the arms overhead. On your next inhale, take a really deep breath, and then exhale, press the lower back down into the mat, lift the legs off of the mat, lift the shoulders and the arms, keeping them lengthened, and hold here for 3, 2, draw the navel in, 1, release. Inhale. Exhale, press the lower back down. Lift the legs up about maybe a foot from the floor, and then lift the arms and the shoulders and the head for 3, 2, hollow hold, 1, lower down. Feel all the activation in your legs. So your legs are really firming up. The kneecaps are lifting up. Everything is solid in your upper thighs and glutes. And so core really is about working from the thighs all the way up into just below the breasts, right? This is all core. It's not just right in the middle of the abdominals. It all works together to stabilize us, to help us prevent injuries. This time around, we're going to take a deep inhale. As you exhale, press the lower back down, draw the knees into the chest as you sweep the arms along your sides, reaching with the fingers. Reach the fingers so you're lifting the head off, you're lifting shoulders and middle back off of the mat. Activate the feet here. Press out of the ball of the feet, open the toes. And then as you release, send the legs and arms out, reaching nice and long. Inhale, and we'll do this again. Exhale, press the lower back down, draw the knees in, send your arms past your legs, reaching towards the wall with your fingers. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. With control, keeping the lower back pressed down into the mat. Reach your legs long, reach your arms overhead long, slowly lengthen and release back down. One more time, take a deep breath. Exhale, press the lower back down into the mat, bend the knees, lift head, shoulders, reach arms past your legs. Reach arms past your legs. Hold here. Now take the left arm, place it on the outside of the right thigh. Press the arm into the thigh and the thigh into the arm, keeping your arms parallel with your shoulders. Reach. Inhale back to center. And then exhale the other side. Press that left arm on the outside, that right arm on the outside of the left thigh, keeping both hip bones on the mat for 3, 2, 1. Come back to center for 3, 2, reach, 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 1. Slowly extend the legs out, keeping the navel drawn in, reaching the arms overhead, lengthen to a hover, and then release. Allow your toes to splay opened, or bring the feet wider than the hips and windshield wipe the knees side to side. And then here, bring the knees into the chest. Take a deep breath. Start rolling yourself forward and back. Just playing here. Yeah. And then find yourself into a comfortable seat in Sukhasana. And then take the left shin on top of the right. So here, we're just going to open up the hips one more time with a twist. Left shin on top of the right. You can even bring that left foot right into the hip crease of the right hip if you'd like. And then we're going to inhale the right arm overhead and then exhale it to the outside of the left thigh as you plant your left hand behind your lower back. Inhale, reach the sternum up. Exhale, twist deeper to the left. Feel the twist happening from the center of your torso. Feel both hip bones glued to the mat here. Option, if you have your foot in that right hip crease, you can grab that foot with your left hand, just like this. Just make sure that that left knee isn't lifting up. Deep breath. Nice seated twist. Deep external hip rotation. Release the twist, come back to center. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold over the legs as they are. Deep breath into all sides of the torso. Expand your breath 365 degrees. And then exhale, walk yourself back up to center. Switch sides. Bring the right shin on top of the left. If you did bring your foot into the crease on the other side, do it on this side as well. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, take that left hand on the outside of the right thigh, right hand at the base of the lower back, or grab onto that left foot, that right foot with your left hand. Inhale, reach the heart up. Keeping both sit bones glued, keeping that right knee down towards the mat. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Try and find that sense of relaxation and ease in the shoulders and in the neck when you twist. Breathe deeply into the lower belly and the mid belly, feeling the breath all the way into the back ribs. Create space in order to twist more deeply with your breath. Inhale back to center, reach arms overhead. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale up. Exhale, fold over the legs, sending your arms forward, giving yourself a couple of breaths in this fold. When you're ready, walk yourself back up. Open the legs wide into a V. Set yourself up here. Take your hands behind your hips. Move yourself forward a little bit. And then feel that wide-legged feeling happening in the inside of the thighs and the hips. It's a different sensation than the external rotation of the hips we were just doing now. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, send the right forearm down as you send the left arm overhead. Nice opening of the left side of the body. Keep the toes flexed and keep them in line with the knees. You can hold on to the shin as well if you'd like. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, the other side. Drop the left forearm down inside of the left leg, sending the right arm overhead. Feel when you reach here that all of your side, your upper shoulder blade and lats are turning in and up. So it's like a hugging feeling. Hug it in and up. And you're reaching from the hip, not from the shoulder. So feel that right hip bone glued down into the mat as you reach and open the heart. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, fold directly forward. As much as you need to feel that sensation, that deep sense of opening in the inner thighs, maybe slightly the back of the hips on between the hip bones and the hamstrings. You might feel a lot of the other muscles in there opening. And then bring yourself back up. Draw the feet back to center, soles of the feet on the mat. Give yourself a nice hug. Tight, tight, tight. And then when you're ready, you can start swaying yourself forward and back. And we're going to find ourselves into the ball of the feet. So we're not standing up. We're just going to balance ourselves eventually onto the ball of the feet in a crouched position. Ready? Find it. Right onto the ball of the feet. Maybe the arms overhead, maybe hands to heart. Balancing here onto the ball of the feet. Lift the heels up higher. So you're sending the weight into the toes and top ball of the feet. And then press the heels back down towards the mat, still on the ball of the feet. Again. And back down. Now with control, bring the arms parallel to the mat, palms facing down. We're going to lift slowly for a count of 5 until standing in Tadasana. Inhale. Exhale up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping on the ball of the feet. Lengthen, stay on the ball of the feet. Maybe reach the arms overhead for 3, 2, 1. And release the heels down. Release the arms along your sides. Good job. And then here, feel all 4 corners of the feet planted down into the mat. Hip width apart. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Reach the crown forward, send the tailbone back. Exhale, fold with navel drawn in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, inhale, root to rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, step the left foot all the way back. We'll set ourselves up for low lunge. Lower the back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, lunge deeper, sending the left hip forward and the right hip back, scissoring the hips. Take a deep breath here. Lift out of the hips. So draw the navel in. Feel, again, the shoulder blades hugging forward and up. So your pinkies can maybe turn inwards towards each other. Press out of that right ball of the foot. Maybe lift the right toes off of the mat. So both legs are working for you. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hands onto the mat, framing your front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step it back into high plank. Look at all 10 fingers, wide open. The first finger, the index, is pointing forward. So your hands might be rotated slightly towards the corners of your mat. Inhale. Get ready. We'll lower down for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way down, untuck toes. Inhale, cobra. Pull the heart forward and then up. Press the pubic bone into the mat. Press the top of the feet into the mat. Minimal weight into the hands. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, lower. Tuck toes, press up, inhale into high plank, exhale, down dog. Pedal the feet here into your down dog. Good, come back to stillness, inhale. Heels up towards the sky, bend the knees, look forward, hopper, step to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, inhale, root to rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back, lower the back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale here. Exhale out of the hips. So feel the front ribs tucked in, but lift the sternum up and keep the shoulder blades down and away from the ears. Lift the front toes, press out of the ball of the foot. And then when you're ready, plant the hands back onto the mat, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step it back into high plank. Stay here. Inhale. Feet about hip width apart. Keep your hips low enough in line with your shoulders, but press the ground away with your arms, with your hands, doming the upper back slightly. So broadening the upper back. Inhale. Listen here. Exhale, drop the heels to the left. Feeling your hips dip down towards the mat. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, heels to the right, dipping your hips down. One more time. Inhale to center. Exhale, heels to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, heels to the right. Inhale back to center. We'll lower down halfway, slowly. Inhale, up dog. Reach the heart forward, lift the kneecaps, activate the legs, roll the shoulders back and down. Exhale back to plank. Inhale into plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the right leg up behind you into three-legged dog.
Exhale, draw the knee into the chest. Take your time, step it between the hands. Widen your stance to set yourself up for your crescent lunge here. Inhale, arms overhead. Crescent lunge, high lunge. Press the back heel away from you as you bend the front knee deeper. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, heart forward. So send the torso forward, press out of both feet. And then exhale, hook the left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. Twist to the right here. Deep inhale. And keep breathing here. Sending the heart forward as you look directly sideways, relaxing the neck. And then on our next inhale, we're going to step the left foot to meet the right in Utkatasana, revolved chair. Inhale, step it forward, exhale into your chair. Inhale here. Exhale, step the foot back into revolved high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, step it back into Utkatasana, chair pose. Keep the hips pointing back. Inhale. Exhale, step the left foot back into revolved high lunge. Listen here, keep yourself revolved. Inhale, lengthen the arms sideways and up. Torso twisted, arms parallel to the mat. Drop the right hand on the back thigh. Send the left arm overhead for a nice twist in your high lunge. And then exhale, windmill your hands forward. Step it back into high plank, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. One more breath. Feel your hands pressing the mat away. Feel the torso coming in as you draw the navel into your spine and send the tailbone up and away. Inhale, the left leg high behind you, toes pointing down towards the mat. Reach out of the back heel, lift with the left glute and the left inner thigh. Exhale, step it through, plant it between the hands, set yourself up for high lunge. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, bend the front knee deeper. We've arrived onto the other side. Take a deep breath. Exhale, patience here. Feel what you're feeling. The heat, where are you feeling the heat? Where are you feeling tension? And where can you relax with your breath? Having self-confidence that you can move through your practice. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, shift your torso forward, but not leaning on the thigh. So lift out of the legs. Feel the legs strong. Exhale, hook the right elbow on the outside of the left thigh. Twist to the left. Pressing the left hip back. Draw the heart forward and up towards the hands and towards the front of your mat. Relax the neck. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, step the right foot forward into Utkatasana, chair pose, revolved chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, step it back into your revolved high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, step it back into Utkatasana. Use your core, twist deeper, send the hips down lower. Inhale. Exhale, step it back into your high lunge. Listen here. Stay twisted. Inhale, arms parallel to the mat.
Drop the left arm on the right thigh. Send the right arm overhead for a twist. Take a deep breath here. And then exhale, windmill the hands forward. Step it back, lower down, chaturanga as you exhale. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Beautiful flow here. Pedal the feet. Walk your hands to your feet, heel toe your feet out, wider than your hips may be, feet pointing out towards the edges of the mat, and then sit your hips down into malasana, deep squat. You can sit on a block if that's better for you. Bring your arms inside, reach the heart forward and up, tailbone down. Shift your weight back into the heels and the outer edges of the feet. Feel the arches of the feet lifting and working for you here. Take a deep breath. And then you can find first your crow, your normal crow. You can have the legs on the outside of the arms, or you can point your toes forward and send the knees on the triceps. So here I'll demonstrate both ways. Having your legs on the outside of the arms, you can just shift your weight onto the ball of the feet, open the fingers wide, bend your elbows, plant the feet down right in front of you, about maybe 2 feet away from you, so slightly forward. Look slightly past your hands, shift your weight forward as you look forward. And then lift the feet off of the mat. So you can experiment with this. And again, you can always use blocks. You can always use blocks for your feet as well. So I can demonstrate this. I can have blocks underneath my feet, just like that, and practice sending myself forward and landing. It's bringing the ground higher up to my feet so that I have less ways to go before feeling balanced. So I'm more supported here, and I can set myself up more for success long term. So just feel your weight shifting forward, and you're really looking about a foot past your hands. So your weight is shifting forward and not directly above your hands, right? Next, we're going to take blocks, stack them together, 2 blocks, maybe even 3 if you need it, lengthwise facing the short edge of the mat. And here you're gonna sit, bring the feet together, crouch down beside the blocks. Your hip is gonna land on the blocks. The palms are going to be planted down onto the mat. So lean your hips onto the block, lean your right hip onto the block. Plant your hands about maybe 1.5 feet away from the blocks. Lift the legs up parallel to the mat. Bend the elbows. This is a modified version of side crow to practice. Keep breathing here. Use your core, use the shoulder strength, and then release. And then we'll go on to the other side. Ooh, we're almost there. We're almost at side crow. But you know, even in side crow, if you can't lift your feet up, you're still working all the muscles in the same way, right? So it's not really the destination that matters, it's more what you're doing with your body during the journey. So during the time you're working on it. That's what's fascinating. So here, again, walk your feet past your block slightly, crouching down. Send the left hip onto the blocks. Plant the feet down. Plant the hands, palms about shoulder width apart. Same thing as when you're doing chaturanga. So feel that opening in the back upper body, and then lift the legs up like a side twist. Look down at your mat, bend the elbows. Hold it here. And I will just demonstrate in a different point of view so you can see me differently. So here I am. Shifting my left hip onto my blocks. Planting my hands down. Directly in line with my shoulders. And then lift the legs up, bend the elbows down, try and twist your torso down to face the mat. Activate the feet. This is the same action as side crow. It's just that your elbows are further away from you. And then release. Beautiful. And remove the blocks to the side. And then you can come back into Malasana and you can try crow with your knees into your triceps. So this time around, have your toes pointing forward. Okay, maybe even, the feet are about shoulder width apart. Hip width apart. Bring the triceps on the knees. Bring your knees high into the chest so you see my heels. Heels lifting up. Bring the triceps onto the knees. You might feel like you can feel the muscle on the knee, right? So that might swivel sideways, but eventually you will find that perfect place for yourself where you can trust that you can lean your knee into that area in your arm. And again, here's a little trick. You can have blocks so that your forehead can land there. You feel like something can catch you. So place the forearms on the knees. And then when you do this, your hands are going to find a place in front. There may be 1.5 feet away from your feet. As you bend the elbows, you're going to shift your weight forward. Okay, I'm going to take one block off because I need to be able to go forward more with my head. I can do this already, so when you're ready, shift. The block can be further away from your hands here. Shift your weight forward. As you shift your weight forward, look forward. Lift the feet up. You can test yourself here. So you can just shift your weight forward, coming onto the toes, and then rolling yourself back onto the ball of the feet. Grip the mat with the fingertips and the palms. Feel the knuckles grabbing onto the mat as if you're grabbing onto the earth ball, the ball of the earth. Shift your weight forward again. Feel yourself shifting forward, and then you can lower. You can test by lowering your forehead down. And if that's not good for you, you can just do it without the blocks. And when you're done, take a moment, bring the knees down onto the mat. Sit into your child's pose. Extend the arms forward. Relaxing the arms. You can open the knees wide if that feels good to you as well.
Okay. We'll take one moment to come down on our bellies. Since this is an intermediate advanced practice, we're going to come into bow pose just to do a counter stretch before we move into side crow. So bend the knees to 90-degree angle. Sweep your arms along your sides, grab onto the ankles with your hands. Knees are in line with your hips, flexing the toes to protect your knees if that feels good to you, or you can keep your feet pointed if that feels more accessible to you. On your next inhale, reach heart up, head up, open the sternum, reaching the shoulders back, and then lift the thighs, the quads off of the mat. Bow pose. Hold here for 3, 2, lift higher, 1, and release. Take a deep breath here. Feeling your heart beating. Revisiting the intention for your practice. When you're ready, let's press ourselves up and let's do side crow. Okay. On your side crow, again, you can always have blocks onto the sides if you want to try and touch your nose on a block. I've never done it with blocks. I've always done it without, but I know that it could possibly actually feel good for me to try with a block. So, same thing as crow, but this time bring the feet together. Big toes to touch. Legs together. Knees in line. Take the left arm, reach it overhead. And then as far around as possible, bring your left armpit into the right outer thigh. Okay? So there's 2 ways of doing this. One is that your weight is only going onto the left arm and not the right. Or the right hip bone can lean onto the right arm as well. So I'll demonstrate the one where both of my hips and arm, I'm leaning on my arm and hip. So here I go. So plant the hands directly onto the side. So you're really reaching up and around to feel settled here. Hands are in line with each other. See, this elbow is not too far from my hip. Bend the elbows. Bend the elbows. Look forward about 2 feet away from your hands. And shift your feet up. Feeling balanced. See, my chin can touch the block here for balance if I want. So my hip bone was landing onto my right elbow, upper elbow area. If you want to do the more advanced version of side crow, I think they're both advanced, honestly. You could have your weight just landing on the left elbow. In this case, you're placing, again, that deep groove into the leg, but this time around, it's more diagonal, where the weight is being more directed towards the left side of the side, if that makes any sense. And then here, you're just going to lift the legs off of the mat without having that elbow. So this time around, that right elbow is farther away from the hip, from the right hip. And then once you're done with that, you can do the other side. Now, some of you, the other side might not be as accessible. I have a harder time on my left side, so I'll try. I'm gonna not be able to. But the goal is the journey getting there as opposed to getting there. So again, I'm gonna reach my right arm really high up and then hook my right armpit on the outside of my left thigh. Yeah. And so here, the goal here is to keep your knees pointing forward. So the bottom body is still nice and straight. And your torso is what's turning to the left. Feel the stability here. And then when you're ready, shift your weight forward and then lift the legs. And then lower back down again. And you can try. It worked. It worked this time. It's like maybe the second time in my whole life. Let's celebrate every little moment, right? On our mats. And then you can try sending the weight only. This is where it might be harder for me. Send the weight only into the right arm. And release. Ooh, ah. When you're ready, just sit down in Virasana for a moment, closing your eyes, landing your hands on your thighs, releasing the wrists and releasing the ankles. Take a deep breath. Exhale it out. Feel that power within you, that heat you built up that was there already. The capacity you have to try new things, to explore with your body and your mind and your spirit is always there. To trust in yourself. So we're gonna go into a bit of heart and hip opening here, just to release. We'll come into fish pose. So take a block, however you'd like, whatever level feels good to you in your practice. If you're an advanced practitioner, you can have it at the highest setting if that works for you. And then sit yourself down about half a foot away from the block. Lower your forearms down, then lower your back onto the block so that the block is between the shoulder blades, and then release the head down onto the other block. Option to bring the soles of the feet together, opening the knees wide. Maybe having the arms overhead, or maybe grabbing onto the elbows to lengthen the sides of the body. And you also have the option to extend the legs out. Just notice how you're feeling now in your body. Relaxing the jaw, maybe opening and closing the jaw. And grateful for having shown up on your mat. And then when you're ready, bring the knees back to center. Draw yourself up onto your forearms. Remove the blocks. Onto the side. Lower yourself back down onto your back. Draw the knees into the chest. Open them wide. And then extend the feet up to the sky. Maybe grabbing onto the back of the thighs or the shins. Drawing the legs in towards your chest as you relax the tailbone down and the shoulder blades down on the mat. Pointing and flexing the toes. Pointing and flexing the toes.
And then bring the ankles above the hips. A nice waterfall. Reach the arms overhead towards the sky. Rotate the wrists and the ankles. And then hugging yourself, bringing the right arm on top of the left. Draw your fingers around the shoulder blades. Give yourself a nice big hug here as you keep your legs extended up towards the sky. Keeping the legs there, draw the elbows up into the thighs as you give yourself a hug fully. And then release. Switch the arms, bring the left arm on top of the right. Take a deep inhale into the hands. And then exhale, draw the elbows up into the legs as you lift the legs up towards the sky. And then release. Arms overhead, release the feet down on your mat, extend the legs out. Give yourself a final big stretch. Reach, reach, reach. And release. Into your final Shavasana. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Let go of all the effort. Thank you so much for joining me in your practice today. I'll leave you in your Shavasana however you like. Namaste.